Hello, Gareth. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so since you're here already, should we start?
Yeah, sorry for the
Okay,
delay.
okay, wait. Okay, so from our previous discussion, let me ask you, um, what did you remember from, or what did you learn from our previous discussions?
So we um, went through the main chart at the top, saying that we'd use the 15-minute one to trade the 1 minute to do some scalping. The green wave um, shows a group of Emmas which give you a sort of view of the market. They're the speculators. The red waves also gives you sort of a view of the market, and they're the investors.
Mm-hmm.
Then the lines serve as support and resistance. If the green's over the red, then that shows it's bullish. If the red Emmas are over the green Emmas, that shows it's bearish. If the candles are above the waves, that also shows bullish. And if the candles are below the waves, that also shows bearish. The white cross shows the reversal or the peak or bottom price of the overbought and oversold. And then we started to look a little bit at the other chart. Oh, we did the 5 rules actually. Yeah, we did the 5 rules, didn't we?
Yes.
Which was to check the 15-minute trend, spot a divergence, look for the white cross / reversal, try and look for a not entry,
Yes.
and then consider your exit plan.
Okay, so very good. Thank you for the review. So that is the criterias or the principles of our 1 to 5 minute scalping script. Um,
We
so
started to look at,
how?
we got halfway through
Yes,
shadow as well. We went through the 7 rules of
yes.
shadow.
Okay. So since we haven't discussed the shadow yet, so what we're going to do now is to discuss the shadow. But before we go through that, let me ask you if you have still questions and clarifications of our 1 to 5 minute scalping script. Do you have questions before we proceed to our shadow scripts? Do you know
Um,
how? Yes?
no, I don't think I have massive questions. I've been kind of practicing using the virtual money on the Bing Bong website.
Yes. And how
But
was it?
all right, I did some good trades and I had some really bad trades.
Oh, very good.
Um,
Thank you. I'm so overwhelmed that you got it right. You traded well. So I'm so happy to know that you have a good trade, you have a good result. So I believe that you really understand how to trade using our 1 to 5 minute scalping technique. So congratulations. Thank you for following and thank you for studying. And of course, thank you for supporting us. Now, let us proceed to our shadow. But before that, okay, let us have an example. For example, in this scenario, okay, since you already using our 1 to 5 minute scalping, so in this scenario, let me ask you, if you are going to trade in this scenario, what is your entry price, or what is your entry in our current scenario? By looking in our 15 minutes and by looking in our 1 minute chart, let me ask you, what is your entry, or how are you going to trade this current scenario?
um, so if I was looking at the 15
Hmm.
minute, you can see where the green Emmas cross the red ones and start to go in an uptrend. That would be quite a way back.
Hmm.
You've been able to trade there, but now at the current situation, we're seeing a reversal because we've got the white cross. we're starting to see them come down and the green pass through the red emmers, and we've seen a very big drop there.
Mm-hmm.
But now, again, we're starting to see another cross. Well, we've just had another cross appear in the 1 minute. So that would suggest to sit and watch a little bit to see the direction, to see if it continues to go down or if it starts to change. So we
So
should
what?
start. We should
Okay.
start to see an uptrend coming now. We should see some bullish response.
Okay. So by looking at our 1 to 5 minute scalping technique. Okay. So very good. You are really studying. Okay. So let us proceed to our shadow since you already know how to trade our 1 to 5 minute scalping technique. So let us proceed to our shadow script. So and then later on we will incorporate the two scripts together on how to trade using the combined scripts. Okay, so that okay, now let us start with our shadow.
So we did some work on the shadow before I had to leave last time.
Yes, but we need to back from the top so you could understand it well. So
Just
let's go back.
the seven points to the checklist.
What are there in your checklist?
So
What
there's check.
have we've been discussed?
So check the 15-minute chart again. Check for a
Mhm.
divergence.
Yes, that is
Look
correct.
look for the RSI signal crossover of the two lines. Look for the color of the shadow, whether it's white or red, to show up or down trends. Look for the shadow to cross over the 50 line.
Okay, so
Um, and
what
then looking at
does
the
it
solid green and red lines and then the exit plan.
okay, so what does it mean when the color of the shadow is red?
That means that it's going to be a bearish trend.
Okay, very good. And what how about our white?
That's bullish.
Okay, so this shadow is our trend indicator. Okay, so how about, did we discuss about the 50 line, 80 line, and our 20 line?
Yeah, so the 80 line, well, above the 80 line is the overbought.
Okay, how about
Um,
below our 20 line?
that's the oversold. So that's where you could potentially expect reversals to occur.
And then our 50 line is,
That's your neutral line.
okay, so what does it mean when the shadow positioned above our 50 line? So what does it mean?
So if the shadow is above the 50 line, that's a bullish trend,
Yes, that is a bullish trend. Very good. And how about if the shadow position below our 50 line?
and that's a bearish trend.
Okay, very good. Now let us, okay, how about this red solid line and our green solid line?
So if it's a solid green line, then that's an indicator of a safe long.
Mm-hmm. And
And if it's a solid red line, then that's an indicator of a safe short entry.
very good. And how about our green line? Our gray line.
The grey one is sort of a bit of a unknown area and avoid trading.
Okay, so this is a no trade area because there is still a possibility of a price continuation. Okay, so that is our gray line. So how do you trade using our shadow script? Okay, the first criteria, okay, in our shadow. Okay, what is the first criteria? Okay, you need to
Check the 15
follow,
minute.
yes, check our 15 minutes time frame. And then our second criteria is to look for a our
Divergent.
RSI, yes, a divergence, correct, very good. And the third criteria is to look for our RSI
RSI.
signal
No.
crossover in
Yeah.
our overbought and oversold area. So that is supposed to be our entry zone. Okay, overbought and oversold area is our entry zone, and then you need to spot a cross. Okay, so this is our third criteria. First is to trend follow in our 15 minutes. Second is to spot a good divergence. Third is to spot our RSI signal crossover. Okay, next, what is your next criteria? Okay, your next criteria is to
Got to look
spot,
at the color of the shadow.
yes, and color of the shadow. When you are in our oversold area, what shadow are we looking? What
Yeah,
shadow are we looking for?
you're looking for the white shadow to come in.
Okay, you are going to wait for the white shadow to appear. Okay, and then our last criteria in order to confirm that we are going to long or to buy long is our solid green line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we will find that criteria in our 1 minute time frame. Okay, so those criterias, we are going to spot them in our 1 minute time frame because this is where we are going to enter and exit the market. And
Yeah.
in our 15 minutes, what we are looking in our 15 minutes is the color of our shadow. Okay, so the color of our shadow. In this current scenario, okay, this is a flat, okay, a flat shadow. There is a indecisive, or the market is indecisive.
Mm-hmm.
It is not sure where he is going to go. So this is a no trade area because as you can see in our 1 minute time frame, this the gray line appear. So this is a no trade area. All you have to do is to wait for the solid green line to enter a trade. Okay, so in this one, in this scenario, this is our 15 minutes. Okay, so basically this is a no trade zone. So what are we going to wait now is our solid green line in our 1 minute time frame. Okay, so this is also a waiting game. But then if you are brave enough, you can actually trade this, okay, by seeing a cross alone in our 1 minute time frame. So this is already a reversal sign. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are brave enough to entry, you can actually enter this, or you can actually trade this. Okay, if your confirmation is your cross, your second confirmation is your RSI crossover. Okay, in
Yeah.
our oversold area, and then the color of our shadow is white. So you can trade this, but you need to have, this is a very tight entry and you need to have a very tight stop loss, and
Yeah.
you should exit properly or exit immediately. Okay, for example, you traded this scenario. Okay, even if there is no sign of a safe trade, but then you are eager to enter the market because you already see a cross, okay, you can actually trade this. Okay, from here, where you see a cross, okay, from here, and then what is your exit? Okay, you need to wait for a counter crossover in our RSI signal. Okay, that is your exit plan.
Okay.
Yes, that is your exit plan, or
So it's getting very close to touching now.
yes,
In.
yes, that is your exit plan. Okay, for example, it is crossing already this one. These two indicators is just the same. I just separate the RSI from the shadow so that I will not be confused, because I
Mm-hmm.
have a hard time in the colors. Okay, this one in our 1 minute, for example. Okay, yes. So in our criteria, this is actually a no trade zone, or this is not a safe entry. But then, by looking at our 1 to 5 minute scalping without considering our script shadow or our shadow script, you can actually trade from here, where you can already see across. Okay, but this is a very tight entry. Okay, from the cross, and then where are you going to exit? Okay, there is no sign that you're going to exit yet, because there is no RSI crossover and the color of our shadow is red. But then when you use this script alone, where are you going to exit? When you already see a red candle. Okay, for example, you enter here and then you exit here, because this is already a red shadow. So this is already 20%. But then in our 1 to 5 minutes rule, wait for another cross or a reversal cross to exit. So in this scenario, you can actually hold your position. Okay, you can actually hold your position until you can't see another reversal cross. Okay, you can actually swing this script, but we are promoting the scalping technique. So you can, from the cross, you can already exit in our red candle. This one.
Yeah.
Yes, you can exit here. Or in our resistance area. So these are our resistance. Every value or every strand of the waves is serve as our support and resistance. So this is the resistance area. The last wave. Okay. This is also a resistance. The red wave, so that is also our resistance. So in the in our SNR rule, support and resistance rule, okay, when you are going to entry long, where is your take profit? Basically below, or below resistance area, or in our resistance area. But me, when I am trading using our support and resistance, I will take profit less 5 or add 5 from our support and resistance. Okay, so
Okay.
in this scenario, our resistance is 10,219. So my sure exit is less 5 from our price. So 10,219 less 5. So I will exit in 10,214. So 10,214, this one. This is the area. 10,214. Okay. For example, I will exit there. This one. 10,214. So I enter here in the cross, our support area. So let's see our PNL from here. So that is already 20%. So that is your exit plan. Exit in our resistance or below our resistance. Okay, so this is a good example of trading using our 1 to 5 scalping technique alone. Okay, so did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look for the cross.
Yes, you look for the cross,
I
and
hit the
then
cross. I would have gone for a long position, but I would
mhm,
exit just below
the
the resistance
resistance,
line.
yes, resistance, or in our resistance area or below our resistance area, not
Yeah.
above our resistance area, because the price usually bounces in our resistance area. Okay, this is our first resistance. Okay, here, so this is our first resistance. This is our first resistance, our EMA 200. From here, you can, your first TP is here in our EMA 200 in 10206. So this is your first TP, this one. Okay, so in scalping that is only 13%. But if you have a big size or a big size position and then max margin, 12% is a lot already. Okay, in BitMEX 12%, that is actually in 100 times I can already earn 5,000 from 500,000 contracts, or in
Hmm.
100,000 contracts. Yes, that is 12%. I will trade that one. I am I am already good in 12%. Okay, it depends on your position size. Okay, so what is your next TP? Okay, let's remove. Wait, remove drawings. Next TP is your here, your EMA here. Okay, this one. Every EMA, this serve as your support or resistance. So this EMA 200 is your first resistance. This one. So you can exit here. That is 12% from our entry price. Okay, this one. And the next is from here. This is your second TP, your third TP, this one. Okay, yeah. Okay, when you, this one. So this is your resistance area. This is 10,225. For your short exit, you can actually minus 3, minus 5 from the resistance area. And when you are going to buy short, so basically your TP is here in this area. You take profit here. When you entry here, for example, you entry here, this one. Let's assume that there's a cross here. So this is your entry price. So what are your um take profit here? This one, this is your support one, this is your support two here in this area. Okay, this one. So when you sell here, and what is your first TP? Our first support, our EMA values, green waves, and then our second TP is our EMA 200. Okay, so did you get it? You have a question, and how to set your stop loss. Okay, how to set your stop loss.
Yeah.
In your short entry, your stop loss is below our support. This one, below support and above resistance. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so crystal clear. Are we done here? Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let us use the two scripts together. Okay. Okay, so let's in here. Did you already updated your scripts? Did you find our shadow divergence spotter? This one?
Um, I've had a, I've had bits that I've looked at. I've not looked at it fully.
Okay, so um, the shadow divergence spotter can help you to easily spot a good divergence. So, but if you mastered already how to spot a divergence, you can actually take out that from your chart, or if you want to, you can add that in your 1 minute, because that is where we are going to entry. This one, this is how it looks like, the divergence pattern. Okay, so there you go.
No, I've not. I've seen that one on the post in the group, but I've not got it on mine.
Okay, so if you want to, you can use this to easily spot a divergence. So this one, so this is a divergence. Okay, and when we are going to align it in our price action, Okay, going up, and then this is going down. Okay, I know this is a bull div, bear div. We're going to here. So this is a bear div. Okay, that that is our bear div. Okay, so this is our first divergence. Okay, spot our 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to spot the trend. Okay, so that is our criteria. Let's write it down. Okay, okay, criterias. Using the two scripts together. Okay, so here are our criterias. First is to, of course, trend following in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. Second is to spot divergence in 1 minute. Okay, so this is our first criteria. This one. Okay, so in this, for example, in this scenario, so we already have a divergence. Okay, this is a divergence. This one. Okay, this is a bear div. And then what to spot next is third is to find or our white cross for our reversal sign. Okay, okay, so we already find our cross. So third criteria check. So this is here. Okay, so and then what to spot next. Okay, now this is the criteria for our 1 to 5 scalping. So what do we need to find next? So we need to
Not
look,
entry.
oh yes, we need to look for a RSI crossover in our shadow. Okay, so here there is a cross here. Okay, this is the cross, and the next is the RSI crossover, this one in our overbought area. Okay, four. Number four is RSI signal crossover. Where are we going to see that? In our shadow script. Okay. Next is to the color of our shadow. Number five, color of our shadow. Okay, so from here, our cross and then RSI crossover, the color of our shadow is already red. This one from white, it changes to red. And the next confirmation is our solid red or green line. Okay, so let's check. Okay, let's align this. Okay, cross, RSI crossover, and then the color of our shadow. Okay, check. Next thing is number 7 is our not crossover, red to green, not crossover, or our not entry. Wave crossovers. Okay, check. And then the next confirmation is our shadow crossing above and below our 50 line, and below our 50 line. So this is a confirmation of price con- continuation. Continuation. Okay, this one. And then our last is 9 is our exit plan. Okay, so let us check, let us review, or let's have a recap. So what are our criterias before we enter a trade? Okay, this is for both bullish or bearish. Our first criteria, okay, can you recite it? What are our criterias before we trade or before we enter a market? Okay, our first criteria is to,
Check the 15-minute,
yes, very good. Second is,
then spot the divergence in the 1-minute.
yes,
So that's the part that I'd probably struggle with the most, is spotting the divergence.
you need, okay, you need to spot in 1 minute time frame because there, this is where we are going to enter our trade. But
Yeah.
in your 15 minutes, when you already see a divergence, so you need to wait for it to be validate, wait for it to validate, and then you trade it in 1 minute. For example, there is a bear div in our, or a bearish divergence in our 15 minutes time frame. So you need to wait for it to be valid, and then wait for it to be valid, and then you will trade it in our 1 minute by chance. Okay, but then if you see a 15 minutes divergence in 15 minutes, okay, disregard our 1 minute first, because that is a very good entry already in our 15 minutes, and then by then you can swing your, you can swing your trade, and you can actually get a high strike rate when you enter a divergence in 15 minutes time frame. Okay, disregard that first, disregard the 1 minute. Okay, ride the 15 minutes time frame divergence, so you can get a higher PNL. Okay, you can actually trade or enter a trade in 15 minutes time frame when you see that there is a 15 minutes divergence. You can actually enter in 15 minutes, disregard our 1 minute, and then you can swing your trade in 15 minutes and then exit. Okay, so this is the one. For example here, just like in our 1 minute time frame, entering in 15 minutes have the same criteria with our 1 minute time frame. Okay? When you already see a good divergence in 15 minutes, disregard your 1 minute, and then you can actually swing a trade in 15 minutes. So you can get a higher strike rate. Okay? And then, or you can have a two platform for your swing trade and for your scalping trade. You need to diversify your funds. Okay, and this one in 15 minutes you have a good divergence. You can actually trade your 15 minutes, disregard your 1 minute for a better chance of higher gain. Okay, so let us check. Okay, for example, this, there is a divergence in our 15 minutes. So this, let's find a divergence in 15 minutes. Okay, this is a divergence. Okay, this one. this is a divergence. Okay, is that correct? Yes, that is a divergence.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bare div. Okay, this is a hidden divergence. Hidden divergence means there is a continuation of our price action. Okay, so what are we going to spot? A bare div. Let's spot a bare div. This one here, 15 minutes. Div spotter. Okay, so this is your 15 minutes time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Perfect. From here, so this is our spotter. You see already a bare div. This one, is this a bare div? Okay, so this is a bare div. Okay, what is one? Okay, first you need to spot a divergence. Second, you need to spot our cross. Okay, so what triggers our divergence? Okay, in our waves, what triggers our divergence is our crossover. Okay, so this is our crossover, this one. Okay, so the first criteria is divergence, second is your crossover, and then this one is your not entry. And when using the shadow, okay, divergence, reversal, the, then our RSI crossover,
Mm-hmm.
and then next is the color of our shadow from white to red, red, and then the red line. Okay, this one. The same with our 1 minute, 15 minutes and 1 minute has the same criteria before we enter a trade. Okay. Okay, so when there is a divergence in 15 minutes, okay, make a chance or grab the chance to enter this or to trade this because it will give you a high strike. A high strike, this one, when you enter here. Okay, so our last confirmation is basically here in our wave. This our wave gives the last confirmation of a trend. So when you enter our cross and then you exit here, okay, in our counter cross in 15 minutes, so that is 681%. When you trade that, okay, that is already 681%. So what are you going to do in your 1 minute time frame? If you already see a bear divergence in 15 minutes, if you really want to scalp that in 1 minute, okay, all your trade in 1 minute is to go short. Okay, all your trade in 1 minute is to go short. So what are your criterias? Your first criteria, in 1 minute is just like what we have discussed. You need to spot a divergence, you need to spot our peak or our cross, and then our RSI crossover, the color of our shadow, the solid red line, and your exit plan. Okay, so it it depends upon on you where are you going to exit. Okay, but in our script, you are going to exit in our counter crossover. Okay, so this is our scenario in 1 minute, for example. Okay, so how are you going to trade a bearish divergence in 15 minutes in our 1 minute time frame? So you need to enter every bounce in our resistance area, every cross. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you need to trade every cross above or the peak cross, and then exit in our counter cross, or enter in our cross or exit in our counter crossover in our RSI signal.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you need to wait again for our RSI crossover above or out in our overbought area. Okay, this is your second trade. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
okay, so for example, this is your first trade in 1 minute. Okay, okay, so example, this is your first trade in 1 minute. Okay, so this is your first trade. Okay, enter in our cross. So our shadow gives you a signal that this is not a safe entry yet. So where are you going to enter? This is in this area where the red line appear already. Here. Okay. So from here. Okay. So this is your entry point. RSI crossover in our overbought area. Check.
Mm-hmm.
Cross. Check. Red line. Check. The color of our shadow is red. Check. Okay, so that is your first trade. Where are you going to exit? Okay, you're going to exit in our counter cross. So this is our first trade. So your exit point is here. Okay, so that is your first trade in 1 minute. So that is already 47%. Okay,
Yeah.
47%. And then what is your next move? Okay, what is your next move is to wait for our RSI signal to reach our overbought area again. Okay, in order to reshort. Okay, you need to wait for our RSI signal to reach our overbought area. Okay, so you already see another crossover here.
Mm-hmm.
So where is here? So basically it's here. So this is your entry point.
Yeah.
Okay, so first criteria, our crossover. Second is our solid red line. Next is the color of our shadow. So it's color red already. So you entry. So where are you going to exit? In our counter cross again. This one. So where is it? Here. So in this area. Okay. This is 47%, and your next scalp is, that is 42%. So 47 plus 42, so that is 89% already. Next, okay, the you need to check the 15 minutes from time to time. Okay, so the 15 minutes give you a bearish divergence. So all your entries in your 1 minute is to sell short. So what is your um next trade? Okay, again and again and again and again, you need to wait for our RSI signal to reach the overbought area. Okay, you
Yeah.
need to you need to wait for the overbought area. Okay, this one. So your next trade should be here. Okay, this one. This is your next trade. right? So let's align it here. Okay, here. Okay. Confirmation. Solid red line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next confirmation. Red line, red color of our shadow. And where is your exit? Our counter crossover in our oversold area. Okay. So that is your exit. So entry is here. This is your entry. So where you're going to exit here in our support. This one. Here. This one. So 89% plus 39%. So that is your trade. 89 plus 39. Are you good in math?
Yeah,
Okay, so
118.
okay, so that is 128 or 127. So that is already 128%. Three trades, 128%. That is in our 1 minute time frame. Okay, so what is your next step? So eh, we assume that there is a counter divergence in 15 minutes. So you already see a counter divergence in 15 minutes from bearish divergence, and then you already spot a bullish divergence in 15 minutes. So what is your trading position now in your 1 minute when you already see a bullish divergence in 15 minutes? What are your trades in your one
Switch
minute?
them all to being bullish. All your 1 minutes.
Okay, all your 1 minute entry should be or
Long.
to buy long. Okay, very
Yeah.
good. So that is how we are going to use our um, 1 minute to 5 minute scalping technique and our shadow entries. So as simple as that, as easy as that, if you are going to master it, you could actually gain a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
so questions,
No,
clarification.
that's looking fine.
Did you get it or
Yeah.
did you? Okay,
Yeah. No,
so
that makes more sense.
okay, very good. So we have a lot of participants here. So if it's okay for you, can we ask them to ask a question?
Yep.
Okay. Who is willing to ask a question in English? Okay, you can turn on your mic and ask me a question or clarification so that we can discuss it, or so that Gareth can also hear your questions. Okay, or you can chat me if you are shy to ask me. Jules, I already have your questions, so your schedule would be tomorrow. So I am preparing to answer all your questions. Okay, so I think you already um, get the point and the principles of our scripts. So what else? Do you have questions? Are you sure that you have no questions?
I'm all right.
Okay, the common question also is that can we swing? Okay, can we use our script or scripts for our swing trade? Of course, you can use our script in our swing trade. So where are you going to plot? Swing trade is from 1 hour above. Okay, so you can actually trade in 1 hour. Okay, entry point in 1 hour. Spot a divergence in 1 hour. Okay, same criteria, but you need to trend follow in 4 hour or 2 hour But in higher time frame, in swing trade, you don't have to trend following. If you are going to swing, you can actually entry in 1 hour time frame and exit in 15 minutes time frame. That is how I swing trade. This is a 15 minutes and this is my 1 hour. Okay. What I do in my 1 hour time frame is to spot all these criterias. Okay. And then I exit on 15 minutes time frame. For example, in 1 hour time frame, there is a bearish divergence. So what is my, so we are, this is a swing trade. So what is my exit plan? My exit plan should be a counter divergence in 15 minutes time frame. Okay, for example, in 1 hour there is a bearish divergence. Okay, so what is my exit? My exit is a bullish divergence in 15 minutes time frame. Okay, why in 15 minutes? Because 15 minutes can affect the movement of our 1 hour time frame. When there is a divergence in 15 minutes or there is a trend in 15 minutes, it actually affect our 1 hour time frame. Okay, so if this is a bearish div and then there is a bullish div in 15 minutes, so basically our price, we're going up, and this is a bearish div. So when there is a price action in 15 minutes going up, so I'm going to exit my trade in 1 hour time frame. Or when you are going to plot in 2 hours, my technique is also exit in lower time frame in my 15 minutes. So that is how I swing my trade. Okay, I will not recommend you to focus on our fib values. I want you to focus first on how to you properly use our script, and then later on you can practice, or I will practice, or I will study how we are going to use our Fibonacci entries. We will going to incorporate it with our script, the confluence value fib in our entry point in 1 minute. What is the value that confluence our 1 minute entry, the value in our fib? Okay, give me at least 3 days or 1 week, because I have a I am I will be absent in September 10 to 11, not 9 to 10 but 10 to 11. So at least give me 1 week to study Fibonacci entries, their confluence in our 1 minute entry, or in our 5 minutes entry. Because you can actually, if you are having a hard time in our 1 minute time frame, you can actually entry in our 5 minutes time frame. But this is a waiting game because this is 5 minutes. 5 minutes entry, and then every 5 minutes candle. That is a waiting game for me. I am not used to it, but when you are having a hard time in 1 minute, you can actually enter your trade in 5 minutes. Okay. So Garrett, do you
Yeah.
still okay? Are we good?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No, that makes more sense.
I hope thank you for your time. I hope you learn a lot from it, and I hope to see your gain flex in the coming days.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can gain your flex in our VIP, not in our, because Coach Ivy is not going to allow us to gain our flex in our GC, the public GC. So you can gain your flex in my inbox or in Coach Ivy's inbox, so that for our evaluation. And when you still have question, you can DM me or Coach Ivy. So this is your last chance, or this is our last Zoom session together. So before we are going to end this session. Are you sure that you have no question?
No, I think I've got my head around most of it. I think it's just a matter of practice now, really.
What are you using? Are you using Bingbon?
Yes.
Okay, good. VST or the real account?
Do what? Sorry.
VST? Are you using our VST account, the trial account?
Yeah, I've been doing that. Yeah.
But I would suggest that in order to test your emotion, you need also to trade using your USDT or your real account, okay? In order to test your emotion, because when you
Hmm.
are using the VST, um, for me, this is not a good um this is not good for me because you cannot test your emotion because that
Yeah, I
is
know
not
what you
a
mean.
real money. But when you are using a real money, it will test your emotion on how you are going to handle your trade, how you are going to handle your losses or your risk management. Okay, so I would suggest that in practicing from at least one trade, you need to use your real account. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so since you have no question, thank you for your time. So let's end this session, and I hope you will gain, and I hope you will always support this group. Thank you, Gareth, for
Will
your
it, will this
time.
re will the recording convert as well, like it did
I
last
will,
time?
yes. I
Okay.
also
Excellent.
recorded this conversation. I will send the link to you so that you can rewatch and review our session.
That's great. Yeah, because I need the this one and the previous one, which we had to end early. I didn't get that recording either.
Okay, so thank you for your time. Good
Thank you.
day. Okay, good day and God bless. Okay, for our other participants. Okay. Sinong gustong magtanong? Marami pa tayong time. Wala. O wala din. Okay, sige. So, let's end the session. Jewel, see you tomorrow. Okay. Prepare your questions and good luck. God bless. Good night all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.